become a part of healing and inspiration, balance and faith, prayer and contemplation, freedom and grace. I say amen, 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 amen. Join us. I say amen, 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 amen. And so it is. So please join me in consciousness. Let's take a deep breath, breathing in love and releasing all that it took to get here. Let's take another deep breath and release it. And feel the presence right here in this very moment of Spirit, of God, in, around, and through this magnificent space that we call Unity of Pasadena, in, around, and through each of us as us. Feel this presence as life itself. Deep inside, we open our heart space to this presence, to the love, which is all things, all feelings, all knowing, all wisdom. Love is the key. We recognize it right now. And we feel and know the love that is brought to this space by each and every person that serves Unity of Pasadena, including each and every one of you, bringing your consciousness of love, bringing your gifts to this very space. From the people that greet us as we walk in, to the people that handle our PowerPoint and our sound, to the people that are absolutely on point constantly with their holding of the light, which is Spirit in action. Standing around the rooms are our prayer chaplains. And what they do is that they see and know and feel the truth for each of us at all times, and we are so thankful for that. We're thankful for our musicians, that today is Mitch, and he brings his voice and his powerful ability to play an instrument and be that instrument, and we're so thankful for him. And we are thankful for the principles that we stand for here in Unity. We're thankful for the experience of one another. We're just thankful for today, and I say with great love, I love Sundays. And it's with this knowing and understanding that we release these words into the law of mind, knowing that all is perfect, all is well. Please join me by saying, and so it is. Amen. Whew, it is fantastic to see all of you today. We're going to start off with Holy, 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 aren't we, Mitch? Yeah, okay.
We are holy, holy, holy. We are holy, holy, holy. We are holy, holy, holy. We are whole. You are holy, holy, holy. You are holy, holy, holy. You are holy, holy, holy. You are whole. Spirit divine, come to me, feeling love and healing me. Open my my heart. Allow me to see beauty and love that lives in me. I am holy, holy, holy. I am holy, holy, holy. I am holy, holy, holy. I am whole. I am holy, holy, holy. I am holy, holy, holy. I am holy, holy, holy. I am whole.
Please be seated. Thank you. That was beautiful, you guys. What a welcome for me for you to sing that song with that love in your heart. I'm Reverend Greg Dorst, and I'm so thankful to be here, and I know you are too. You made it to Unity of Pasadena this morning. You're in the right place if that sounds right. And you know what? You're in the right place even if it doesn't. So if you kind of just wandered in not knowing where you're going, you found the right place. So we welcome all of you. We welcome everyone who's on live streaming. We welcome everyone who's sitting in the seats, and we welcome those that are coming in late, and we welcome those that are yet to find Unity of Pasadena. And so what we do is we speak with our hearts a consciousness that's magnetic. We're absolutely an amazing space where people congregate because they love one another and love the idea of loving one another. We have a blessing, which I'd like you to join me in, a unity blessing. We love you, we bless you, we appreciate you just the way you are. We also have a statement of faith I'd like you to join us in. There is only one presence and one power active in my life and in the universe, God the good omnipotence, and I am one with that presence and power. So we're going to talk for a moment about our community. Would you come on up, Charmaine? It's all yours.
Good morning. Oh, I love Sundays. Please repeat with me our vision statement, which is aligned with Unity Worldwide Ministries. Envisioning a world powerfully transformed through the growing movement of shared spiritual awakening. Becoming that vision translates into being the channel for the divine in action. Please join with me in affirming our mission. Transforming lives by living and sharing our inner truth of divine wisdom, compassion, and love using practical spiritual principles. And please join with me in affirming our core values: creating community, living love, teaching truth, serving spirit. Each of these statements are located at the front of your bulletin, and they represent our intention as a ministry. Inside your bulletin is also our monthly calendar, and please remember to check your bulletin and, of course, our website for all the latest happenings. Today is our annual meeting. Everyone is invited to attend. It begins here in the sanctuary at noon. We will enjoy a slideshow presentation celebrating the highlights from 2022. We'll update you on what has been happening and take a look at the future. Members will also vote and install the new Board of Trustees. And for members, please sign in when you re-enter the sanctuary. Take your voting paddle, and there are some minutes out there. If you are a member, the minutes have your names on them, but there's also a stack that don't have names. Just don't worry about it. Yeah, just if you want to see the minutes from last year's meeting, grab the minutes. And of course, the minutes will be voted on by the members to approve the minutes from last year. Greg already has his little owl. Today is the fourth Sunday of the month, and hospitality is hosted by those whose last names start with S through Z. Thank you, everyone who has brought a dish to share. Please keep the line moving today. We want you to have time to visit and eat, but be mindful that the annual meeting starts at noon here in the sanctuary, and we can't bring food in the sanctuary, so no lollygagging. Next week is the first Sunday in April, and if your last name starts with ABC, please bring a dish to share. Remember to come a few minutes early to set up your food, and remember to stay a few minutes afterwards to clean up in the fellowship hall. Next Sunday is also Palm Sunday. Fire and Ice, progress is being made. So far, the campaign has received $2,430 in designated contributions. Our goal is to raise $20,000. That will cover the replacement cost of 2 of our air conditioning heating units, and it'll repair the roof and the ceiling in the foyer where we had water leaks. If you can help support these additional costs with an extra contribution, please write Fire and Ice on the memo line of your check. And if you are contributing cash, please put it in a separate envelope with your name on it and designate it for the Fire and Ice campaign. So any extra amount that you can contribute is greatly appreciated, especially when it's really hot this summer. Tea time is next Sunday after fellowship from noon to 12:45. Reverend Greg's class is on April 23rd and 30th. It's a 2-session workshop, so save your dates. Registration is $20, and that covers both sessions. The title is Feeling is the Secret, and it's based on the works by Neville Goddard, and there's a flyer on the events table in the fellowship hall. Gall will be back on the 20th of May. The title is Epic Tales of the Bible, How Ancient Stories Can Improve Our Modern Lives. It will be another Saturday evening event from 6 to 8 p.m. Registration is $40, and again, there are flyers available in the fellowship hall on the events table. Although the events table, I think, is taken over by the annual prayer meeting, or the annual meeting table. So they're out there. You'll find them. Seek, and you shall find. Our prayer chaplain today is Clifta. She's going to lead us in meditation. And in preparation for our meditation, Salam is going to read the daily word. Thank you.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Happy Sunday, and I also love Sundays. Today's affirmation is, I draw from my wellspring of joy, and the word is joy. There are so many ways to express joy. I may speak words of praise that bring the awareness of even more blessings to mind. I may take joyful action, my every step aglow with the light of God, in living all I do. I celebrate the playful joy of every child, especially the child within me. I experience the same happiness whether I am in the heart of busy city or in the stillness of nature. And then there is the quiet joy of just being, the richest joy of all. I rediscover my joy by taking slow, deep breaths, tapping into my wellspring of well-being that never runs out. I feel its energetic flow spilling over into my heart and life. What joy to be a spiritual being, a precious child of God. But the angel said to them, do not be afraid, for see, I am bringing you good news of great joy for all the people. Luke chapter 2, verse 10. Thank you.
Into thy hands I commit my spirit. Thy will is my will. Heal me at depth so that I may glorify God. Reveal that which needs to be revealed. Heal that which needs to be healed, so that I may glorify God. Into thy hands I commit my spirit. Thy will is my will. Heal me at depth, so that I may glorify God. Reveal that which needs to be revealed. Heal that which needs to be healed, so that I may glorify God. God, so that I may glorify God.
See if we can get this thing. That's about right. It bites, I know it does. I know it does, yes it does. Oh, good morning on this bright and sunny, beautiful day. Not only did I wake up to a sunny day and love it, but my dog looked outside and loved it as well, with great disappointment that he's not going to get his walk until we get home, so. Mike. That thing. Okay, anyway, I'm Clifta Gillette, and I'm here to do a meditation for you. About 4 or 5 years ago, I took a very long walk. I did a pilgrimage in Spain and France, 350 miles of it. It was very earth-shattering, very spiritually opening and enlightening. I went for a particular reason, to look for truth and clarity, wanting family love closer than it was at the time. So anyway, I put this forth on this lovely journey and walked and walked. And I'm going to take you on a little bit of a walk today. So I'd like you to close your eyes. Breathe in. Hold it. And let go all that you no longer need or want. Let it go. Let it go. Once more, breathing in and letting it go. Now, it's 6 o'clock in the morning in Spain. It is still dark, but you start your walk. We wear headlights so that we can see ahead without having to use our hands. And it was such great fun because everywhere you turned your head, it would spotlight something, whether it be a tree or a bush, or of course the road that you want to see and stay on. Then you would see maybe a rabbit running by, or chickens because you're out in the country. We saw all kinds of things, felt the love of God coming in, lighting our path, allowing us to know, to feel safe and comfortable. So we walked and walked. Now you've walked an hour of that time, and it's beginning to get light, and you know that sun is coming up over the hill. So you watch the light, you look around, see the wonders
of the world and a place I had never seen before. It felt good. It felt alive and comfortable. So as I walked, I saw a woman come out of her home with a fresh plate of crepes. Oh my goodness, I can taste them now. She came out all smiling as a group of pilgrims walked up, and she offered them to each and every one of us. And if I'd have known how good they were, I would have paid and bought more because they were really, really good. And I was hungry by that time. But as we began to walk again, there was a little bit of a pond close by, and I love water. Water to me is, it just seems to really bring in more light. So we walked over to the water, we had a drink, we sat down, looked into the water. What was in the bottom was a bright, wonderful green that was growing of plants. Oh, the lovely green. And green is very healing for your heart, for your soul, for your inner spirit. So you allow that green to absorb into your body. You open your heart because you know it's safe and all that's there is love. So in looking in the water, the sun by now has over and crested the mountain, and it has shined now in the water. You see an image of your face looking back at you. Oh, that face. You love that person because that's you and God is present. So you continue to look at that image in the water. Somehow it begins to change in the ripples of the water. Before you know it, it's Jesus. It is no longer you. And he is here for you. He is here to answer your questions, your clarity, your truth, and allows it to come forth. So now I'm going to offer you and put you in the hands of Jesus Christ and let you pick your own truth, your own clarity, allowing him to help you find and to know exactly what that is. So enjoy these moments with him. a deep breath in. Feel yourself grounding into Mother Earth, who also loves you. We'll carry you on the rest of this day with all the love and the light bringing into you. Thank Jesus for being with you. Jesus Christ has come, and he will help you with your truth and your clarity on their time. It's not always our time, but it's their time. And it took me 5 years for mine to evolve, which is doing now. So I give you such thanks and gratitude myself, as well as Jesus, for having you sit here with me. Enjoy your day.
I will trust in the Spirit. I will open my heart. I will always remember the truth of God that has brought me this far. So lead me on this path of light, and every step I take in faith leads me home to a place where all I know is love and grace. Lead me on this path of light. I will shine in the darkness. I will bring forth the truth. I will always honor the beauty and light that I see in you. So lead me on this path of light, and every step I take in faith leads me home to a place where all I know is love and grace. Lead me on this path of light. As I breathe, I become completely one with the light when the love. Completely one. As I breathe, I become completely one. Completely one. One. Lead me on this path of light, and every step I take in faith, leads me home to a place where all I know is love and grace. All I know is love. All I know is love. All I know is love and grace. you. Thank you.
That's a standing ovation, Mitch.
Thank you.
Did you see that? Whoo! I love that. And once again, I turn my back and the audience fills up, you know? So for all those who are not here yet, what a neat day. What a really, really neat day. Yeah, so it's not often we get Mitch all to ourselves, you know? It's not So I think you were talking, Clifta, about the Camino de Santiago, is that right? Yeah, that's a long trek, and what a blast, huh? Yeah, yes. And how many days did it take you? She took a month off from work, which didn't tell me how many days it took her. Walking every day. That's fantastic. That's something I'd like to do. I'd love to be able to take that trek. Yeah. Well, you use the term, Clifta, pilgrimage, which I really appreciate, which means something different than I think I took a hike. You know, we took a hike. We went on a walk. Means something different than a walkabout, too, you know, which, yes. Anyway, thank you for sharing that. I really appreciate that. So we're in the midst of Lent. You know that. We're in the midst of Lent, and today's reading in Charles Fillmore's Keep a True Lent is about being an overcomer. And it starts like this. An overcomer is one who recognizes the truth of his being and is renewing his mind and body and affairs by changing his thoughts from the old mortal beliefs to the new, as he sees them in divine mind. Changing old mortal thoughts to the new. Well, he goes on to explain this in a metaphysical way, and I'll skip a couple of lines and go right to that. For he says, one of the laws of mind is that man becomes like that which he identifies himself. Man becomes like that which he identifies himself. You know, the thing I like about identifying ourselves as unity is that when we say it over and over again, which we do every Sunday, this is unity. I'm unified with you. There's only one thing. What we're doing is we're talking about, first of all, in our mind, nestling up to that idea that we're inclusive, that we are one, that we know one another because we are one another, that this thing that operates as everything we see, everything we feel, everything that we are is really God in action. I mean, that's what this thing called unity really means, you know? So what we do is we hold that idea. We hold the idea that you and I are not just children of God, but we're made of God's stuff with all of the ability to nestle into that divine mind and know its contents, meaning we can be God mind because we are. Our awareness is all that's necessary. So I love that. I just love the idea that Charles Fillmore brings forth here, that sort of like as we think, so shall we be. What we put our attention on expands. And so I'd like to put my attention on something else just for a moment. Just for a moment for you. So, all right. You don't know this one. I feel good, do, like I knew that I would now, do. I feel good. I passed my test. So good, 'cause I got a you, do. Yeah, so I've been recommended for ordination, you guys. So, and I say that because it kind of fits in. And, well, first of all, have kept you on this journey. You know, I have wanted to keep you in the loop as to what's going on with the schooling and with the movement toward ordination, and so you've sort of taken this journey with me. I went through panels this last week where I had to meet with people on Zoom and talk about things that they were interested in knowing about me. And one of the things they really wanted to know was whether or not I was steeped in unity. And you don't find that out by asking the question, are you steeped in unity? You find that out by listening to the answers and determining whether or not there's unity languaging, whether or not there's an idea that's being presented in everything that you say that has oneness attached to it. That is a way of seeing the world that includes bringing everything to the spiritual realm. And understanding that everything we read, everything we say, everything we hear, everything we feel has a deeper meaning within us if we're willing to take that journey. So let me give you an example of that. You know, I used to practice law, and I had a secretary, and I was always nervous about making deadlines because there are lots of deadlines, and the deadlines are hard deadlines. I mean, you can't come up to somebody and say, well, you know, like my dog ate my paper and get away with that. You know, you can't make little menial excuses and get away with it because a lot of these rules and regulations are run by statute. And so the ticking of the clock means something, and if you don't make it on time, you're in trouble. You're in big trouble. And as a representative of a client, then you've gotten your client in big trouble. So there's a lot of pressure. So I used to come up to my secretary when the deadlines were very, very difficult, and I'd say to her, are we going to make it? Are we going to make this? Are we going to make it in time? And she'd look at me like, well, we would if you'd go back in your office and work on it. You know, but that's kind of the look she had on her face, but she would say something different. She'd look at me and she'd say, yeah, we're going to make it. Absolutely, we're going to make it. And I'd say, how do you know? This became a ritual. How do you know? She'd look at me with those serious eyes and say, because we always do. Ooh. And you see, that wasn't about the deadline. That was about faith. When she says we always do, you know, the deeper meaning is not about making the deadline. It's not about getting it in on time. It's about faith. And it's about the practices that we put forward in order to have that trust and faith in ourselves that we can get it done, that we can make this thing happen, that we can see the world a little bit differently. And that's what she did with that statement for me. She allowed me to see the world just a little bit differently. You know, as we reach into this time of Lent and start making our way toward Easter, we see that it's really about adjusting our thinking, adjusting our faith, adjusting our belief system along the way, so that we can attain what, you know, unity would call the Christ consciousness. The Christ in us is that idea in God mind of perfect humanhood, you know, because what we can do is we can move forward and evolve into that magnificence that Jesus demonstrated. You know, and when you say glorify Jesus and glorify God in our readings today, I see that, feel that, and hear that as saying, put your mind on that. Glorifying, make it bigger. Put your mind on God. Put your mind on this consciousness of being able to move forward and change the way that you see things, change your worldview. I have a mentor who uses the word paradigm for that. The word paradigm is sort of a word that means your worldview, the way you see things, the way that you view things. So if you can change that when you're in the midst of difficulty, you overcome a great deal of what life has to throw at you. And I say throw at you rather than offer, because sometimes it feels like it's being thrown at you. And it's in those times that you really need to be able to adjust, that you really need to be able to see the truth in things. So what we're talking about during this Lent period of time is preparing us for that ultimate understanding and knowing that we are responsible for the changes that are made, the transformation that occurs, the Christ nature within us evolving and peeking out a little bit more and more and more each moment. I love the way Eric Butterworth talks about these types of ideas. He gave an Easter story that I really, really enjoyed about the change in worldview. It's a wartime story. This talk was given in the 50s, but it really harkened back to some of the horrors that had occurred in the Second World War. And then, of course, we had another war, the Korean War, or a conflict, if you will, in the 1950s. And we've had many since. So this kind of experience kind of peeks its way out in every situation where people can find themselves embroiled in controversy and be hurt by it. So it starts on the battlefield. Remember, Eric Butterworth is telling this, and he's got a great way of speaking and a way of telling tales and stories. And he said that there was a young man whose leg was injured so badly on a battlefield conflict where when he was taken back to the field hospital, they had to amputate his leg. And so he's in the field hospital, and he's just undergone this surgery, which is, in his mind, is going to monumentally change his life and maybe even seems like the end of his life. So he has this mindset that he's probably reached the end of his rope. He's found himself in that place that he may not be able to recover from. He's in such a depth of despair and difficulty that he doesn't know whether or not he can pull himself out of it. There's this man who comes by who seems to be helping out in the hospital setting, and he's a young man, but he's very happy. And he comes and he talks to all of the men who are in the hospital in bed, having undergone these traumatic injuries and surgeries. And so he comes up to this young man who just had his leg amputated, and he sits down on the corner of his bed, and he says, "Hi, you want to talk for a bit?" Silence. "Okay. Do you mind if I just play my harmonica here for just a moment? Can I just play my harmonica?" He doesn't say anything. So he takes a couple of minutes and just plays a nice little soft tune on his harmonica, and he gets up and he leaves. The next day he comes again, sits down on the edge of the bed. "Would you like to talk today?" Doesn't hear a thing. Plays the harmonica again, walks away. The next day he comes and he sits down on the bed and he says, "I feel like dancing today. I just feel like dancing today." And stands up and plays his harmonica and starts to dance around the bed. He's being very jovial, playing his harmonica. And the man says, the young man who's in bed hasn't said a word yet. He said, "That's okay for you to be happy, but my life is over." He said, I don't understand what you're saying. What do you mean your life is over? You're in this space where people are helping you. They're helping you to heal. And he said, "No, if you were in my situation, you'd understand. You'd know that this loss of my leg is the end." And the man says, "Well, here's the thing, it could be only the beginning of a new experience. It could be the beginning of your ability to show other people how to overcome this type of thing." And he stands up and he pulls up his pant leg, and it's a prosthesis. And the man in the bed looks at him like, "Oh, I see." And then he pulls up the other one. And it's a prosthesis too. And all of a sudden, there was a newness in this young man's eyes. And this is the way Eric Butterworth puts it, and it just absolutely touches my heart. He said, in that moment, the stone was rolled away. In that moment, the stone was rolled away. The impediment of being able to see life in a way that allowed him to express love, express connection, express hope, express faith in his life was removed. He saw it in a different way. I just love that story. You know, it talks about, in ways, this idea of overcoming through our mind action. And we wish to be there, but we also wish to understand that life is not just something that needs to be overcome. Certain aspects need to be overcome. It's that we align ourselves with the Christ consciousness, with the spirit of goodness, with the healing consciousness, which just says love all the time. You know, it's hard to see Easter as that. It's hard to see the lead up of Easter as that. Of that being all about hope and faith and love and goodness and bringing about newness in your life when it's about a crucifixion or not. You see, Jesus actually showed us that life is everlasting. He didn't show us just how to transcend death. A lot of people see it that way. Oh, he showed us how to transcend death. No, he showed us that life is everlasting. There's your hope. There's your faith. There's your way to see something in a little bit of a different way. You know, and for those that might be in despair in the moment, it allows you to roll away that stone. It allows you to see things anew. So, I'm going to close with this. My travel through the school, the Unity School of Ministry, and then into my panels, which I've been approved for ordination through, was something that was transformational for me, allowed me to see things in a different way. And this is the way I put that. First of all, when you transcend, it also includes that which you already know. So it's not as if you're wiping the slate clean and now you don't know that anymore. What I do is I bring this, I offer this as a way to explain it. If you learn Spanish, you don't forget English. You see, if you learn French, you don't forget English. It is something that brings you to a different level so that you can understand more, but it hasn't taken the place of that which was there before. What it does is transcend, allow you to transcend and include. So I see this process that I went through as making me see something different in a different way, which added to the richness of my experience. And I'll tell you what that desire to do that was all about. The desire to do that was because I want to stay with you. You see, for me to be Thanks. For me to be able to do that, I had to do the schooling. For me to be able to stay, I had to go through the paneling. For me to be able to stay, I had to do something that was difficult, but made me a way, way better person. And if that doesn't fit the Overcomer, the Way Shower reading, I don't know what does. So thank you for all that you are and all that you bring to this world and all that you brought and continue to bring to my life. Thank you. Namaste. Come on forward, Norma. Thanks. Look, this. Oh, I got a list. Oh, look who's on today. We got Audrey. We have Sue and Ron. Gary. Oh, and Erlene. All the way from Texas. Yep. And Charlene. She's all the way from a different state, too. I can't remember where right now, but it's way out there somewhere where the time is different. Yep. And we got Charles, and Charles is all the way out in Atlanta. Well, we're attractive. Wait till we get, people from Canada and France, and, it's cool. It's very cool. And we have Debbie Nakashima. Thank you for joining us. We appreciate that very much. And you also brought this, which is our gift. Thank you. I'm going to put both of these in this basket right now. And what we're going to do is talk about our community giving and be thankful in the moment that we have a community to give toward that does some amazing things in the world, that brings about a consciousness of healing and love and caring. All of the things that we'd like to see spread beyond this community itself into the larger world, well, we're in the process of making that happen. By being it, we spread it. I say this always, consciousness is catchy. Your consciousness is catchy. So what we do is we take our gift and we hold it to our hearts. We do that right now. And we say together, God is the source of my overflowing supply, and I am grateful. And so it is. Thank you.
Love is my decision, up to me to give of my heart. Love is my decision. No one else can tell me to start. For once I decide to change my mind, God will show me how. I know love is my decision right here, right now. Love is my decision, up to me to stand on that bridge. Love is my decision. No one else can make me forgive. And once I decide to change my mind, God will show me how. 'Cause love is my decision right here, right now. Love is my decision, up to me to dance down that road. Love is my decision. No one else can lighten my load. And once I decide to change my mind, God will show me how. 'Cause love is my decision right here, right now. Love is my decision, up to me to dance down that road. Love is my decision. No one else can lighten this load. Once we decide to change our minds, God will show is our decision right here, right now. Our decision right here, right now. Thank you.
So, see, you're going to get one of these paddles. This means yes, 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 yes. Mitch, yes, thank you so much. I appreciate that. That was the perfect song. Perfect song. Please come forward. So, thank you for taking on this task today. Yes, you know, she's releasing another task today, and that release is pretty monumental because I would say that Norma is our board president, but only for another hour or so. And you've stepped into this ushering role so beautifully. Yes, you absolutely have done a great job. So what I want to do is let each and every one of you know through prayer that we as a congregation promise to use these tithes and treasures, and beauty of love, and these gifts for sharing that support with integrity, Unity of Pasadena and the surrounding community, that do the things that we just can't do alone, that bring about a sense of oneness around each and every person that steps into this space or lives nearby, to be a beacon of light for all those who wish to come and share an experience of caring, of community, of connection, for that's who we are. We promise to be that. We're so thankful. I release this, I let it go, and so it is. Amen. Thank you, Norma. So we are going to do a silent unity prayer for protection, and I'd like to have you stand up for that, if you will. So would you join me, please, with the silent unity prayer for protection? The light of God surrounds us. I am light. The love of God enfolds us. I am love. The power of God protects us. I am power. The presence of God watches over us. I am presence. Wherever I am, God is. I am divine, and all is well. So if you'd like prayer after service, please see Bill. And who's helping you today, Bill? Clifta. So please come see them. Just stay in your seat, and they will arrive for you. They will come and see you. And I'd also like to recognize and invite my spiritual sister, Carol Bliss, Reverend Dr. Carol Bliss, up front. I want you to come sing this with me, okay? What are we going to sing today?
I Choose Love.
I Choose Love. Come on. I'm so happy to have you here.
Peace in my life is growing because I choose love. Love's always present. It's what I'm made of. I choose love. We are all part of each other. We are one tie that binds us that can't be undone. I choose love. Peace for our planet is growing because I choose love. One love be present, it's what we're made of. I choose love. We are all part of each each other. We are one. One choice unites us. Let this be the one. I choose love. I choose love. I choose love. Woo. Oh.